you're doing it on stage, you're very much in control of how the performance is pitched, and but on film, a lot of it comes to the director, you know, and so if you have faith in your director, I think, you know, it's not very difficult at all, you know. The character was really clearly drawn on the page, and Clint and I didn't really talk that much about how to play him, you know. We just started shooting, and he would occasionally give me some advice, and but you know, he doesn't he's not an overbearing director, you know. Which is not to say that he doesn't direct you, because he does direct you. You're aware of it when you work with him, but but he's not you know, one of these guys who gets in your ear and talks for an hour. And you know, but I got to see him be a little more hands-on this time. A Perfect World, the film that he did years ago, I thought boasted one of the best performances by a kid that I've ever seen. And even my mom, who's a professor of early childhood development, called me about that movie and said that boy is, you know, he's unbelievable. And so this was a good experience for me, a good chance for me to see how Clint works with kids, and he's got a whole methodology about it, and it's around you know, not getting kids with too much experience, and he wants the kids to be able to be kids, but he's able to get them to focus without getting them bored, and so they retain that kind of ability to still play a little bit, and he just did some very, very smart things, like in the final scene with me and the boy, which is really the pivotal scene, you know. And going into it, I looked at the script and said, if this scene doesn't work, the movie just falls apart, and everybody knew that on the set. The boys didn't know that, but all the adults knew that, and so Clint did some great things where he shot the scene with both boys, and what that did was it just took all the pressure off them, and so it became a game for the two of them, you know, between Frankie and Georgie, you know, who, you know, you know, and it became fun, and then we went to each of them and we got secret information about their brother, you know, and does he have a girlfriend, and, you know, no, tell me. And so when the camera was on one of the boys, we'd start telling him this stuff, you know. Oh, wait, I'm getting a sense, wait, your brother's telling me now that you have a girlfriend, and your girlfriend, and so we're getting these wonderful reactions from them, and then Clint was right here, and we were both, you know, talking to him. And so it's just little techniques and tricks like that were really fun to watch him do. He was an iconic actor, you know. He was an iconic screen presence, and a completely original figure on screen to start. And then at my age, at about 40, he started directing, and suddenly people realized this immense depth that was there. So that it wasn't just this kind of accident that he was this iconic, this unique figure in film. He was actually an important figure in film, and his work just kept getting better and better and more interesting, and it's totally varied, and he's just a great storyteller. He tells all kinds of stories. There's not a genre that scares him. There's not a genre that intimidates him. He you know, he loves it, and he's just great at it. And I think eventually, you know, you make movies for 60 years at an unbelievably high level, and people go, you know what, you're an icon. You know, that's a career really unlike anyone in film history. I think people are perfectly willing to explore the subject if, you know, if there's a good story about it, but it's just, I just don't think there have been many stories written about it. And it's also, it's you know, like this film doesn't try to give you any answers, because it doesn't, you know, because we don't have any, and that's the great common denominator about where we're going, is that what we all share in common is nobody knows. No, no. I mean, I still am where I was at the beginning, which is where my character is with the boy at the end. He says, "I don't know. I don't know. You know, I'm sorry," is what he says. So I'm hopeful, but that's all I can do is be hopeful. But I liked it because it's a universal question that we grapple with. So I like that Peter made it an international film, because it's nice to see, and it's nice to see from these three disparate places these people who desperately need each other to be fulfilled, and you wonder how are they ever going to meet, and I like the way that he got them together. I really want to. I've been wanting to, but I keep getting these great jobs, and I learn so much every time I work with him or the Coen brothers, or So I feel like I'm getting some good value while I'm not directing. So, but soon, I hope soon.